Hello, welcome to episode 9 of the XrmToolCast. I'm your host, Daryl, with my co-host, Jonas. Jonas, how's it going?
Hi there, it's great, thanks.
Great, awesome. Well, we are here with two guests this time who are instrumental in creating a tool for the toolbox. So I will actually go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves, give a quick background on how people can reach you if they want, and we'll go ahead and get dived in. So Gus, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Gus, and I am a CRM MVP. I don't know if anyone listens to actually my show, CRM MVP podcast, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself on this one. And I don't think people expect me to be on this show since I'm clearly not a developer. I was thinking about that. If I ever kill somebody, this would be a good place to hide the body. Like, nobody would ever expect me to be on this show. So, so I'm an MVP. I'm a solution architect. I implement Dynamics for a living, and I'm also the host of the CRM MVP podcast. But, as I mentioned, I'm not a developer, so I am guilty of this particular toolbox tool, just mainly because I was complaining about the fact that no one ever listens to me and no one ever wants to make a tool based on my ideas. And Clement was there just listening attentively and taking notes, and then he took me up on it and created the plugin, and now we have it, and it's a reality, and that's why we're here on the show. So I'm excited about it.
Gus, I think you're an example of how a person can take no development skills and bacon and complaints and turn it into a tool using somebody else. So
exactly. It's like, I don't know if you remember Saving Private Ryan, where they were talking about like who you should complain about and not just whine for no reason, but learn how to complain. That's kind of how it is. I learned to complain to the right people, and then they can make things happen.
Awesome. Thanks, Gus. Come on, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Clement, I'm from France. You can hear that from my accent, of course. So basically, I'm CRM MVP since 1 year and a half, so I'm quite new in the program. I'm mainly developer as well. I discovered the CRM, let's say, 5 or 6 years ago now, and I'm still discovering a lot of with the tool, so it's awesome. And yeah, as Gus said, he had some ideas, so I had to help him because he was shouting too much with us at the summit. So
Exactly.
Gus, you had a pretty good video on how this whole tool came to be caused.
Exactly.
Can you give us a quick little update? And can you get your side as well?
Yeah, so the quick version of it, and I wanted to put it on the video because I wanted to tell people of essentially of Clement's dedication to making the tool happen. Because I have the idea, but anyone can come up with an idea. You really need the talent to make it work, and kind of the dedication that he had to make it work, because he has a full-time job on top of it. But he committed to it, and I told him that I was going to I think it was the 365 summit in Europe, and I wanted to introduce it there because I was doing a session in Europe, and I'm like, no pressure, but it needs to be done by Thursday kind of thing. So Clement, pretty much, I guess he didn't sleep or anything, but he made it work, and I was able to show it at the event, and everybody obviously loved it. And we got, I don't know how many downloads we have so far, but the tool seems to be fairly adopted. But essentially the story is this. We went to the summit, the MVP summit that we have every year in Redmond in March. And Clement was there. It's his first summit. And we are all having breakfast like the day before the summit on Sunday. And I happened to be on the table with the French MVPs. And, because I've already complained to every other MVP of every other country, I figured let me give the French ones an earful on this. So as soon as I heard, it's your first MVP summit, well, let me tell you all the things I hate about the fact that no one listens to me. And
let's try with a quiz.
Pretty much. Yeah, so Clement was having his delicious French breakfast, whatever, pancakes with French strawberries and who knows. And just listening me complaining about it, like, why don't we have a tool that does this? Why don't we have a tool that does that? And I'm just complaining about it. And once again, I thought people listened to me and nothing was going to happen. And I think it was like Tuesday or something where he just called me up and said, let me show you this. And it was a screenshot. Oh, maybe it was on Slack. He sent me like a screenshot of the tool. And I was like, whoa, that's awesome. And he started to make it work. And I mean, it took you what, Clement, like 2 weeks to make it work completely?
Yeah, based on my short time frame.
Exactly.
I had to do it quickly, but maybe 2 weeks. Yeah.
And I think we might not be the best XrmToolBox tool. I mean, it's hard to vote for the best. We do have the best GIF image though, or GIF or GIF, what's it called?
Yeah.
I mean, we by far we are number one on that. So
So
good job.
guys, I really we've been talking around in circles around this tool for a while now. What tool is it?
Come on, man, everyone knows.
We do?
It's called the Business Process Manager, Business Process Flow Manager, BPF Manager for short. And the idea behind it is that when you do implementations, in a lot of cases, when you import opportunities, the opportunities are coming from a system where they're already ongoing. So they've been open, especially depending on the customer. An opportunity could take, a year and a half to close. And you could be on a 4-stage sales process. You could be on stage 2, stage 3, maybe stage 4 closing. And you need to import them all into Dynamics. But obviously, when you import everything, if you're using business process flows, every single opportunity will be on stage 1, right? So my plan was, can we have a tool where I can tell the tool, like, based on this field called sales stage or whatever, as soon as I import the opportunity, I want you to set it to the right stage level. Or if I have a bunch of opportunities in the system already and I introduce a new BPF, I want to be able to say, take all these opportunities, pick this new process and set them all to stage 2 or stage 3. Something that I can do bulk addition, essentially, or setting of business process flow on any record, not just opportunities. I'm using opportunities, but it's any BPF enabled, entity.
Wow.
That's what the tool does.
Yeah. So great. So Clement, what was, I assume, I mean, from Gus's nagging and yelling at you to create this, what was the approach on how to do these, and what was the challenges?
Well, BPFs, since the version 8.2, I think, changed their way to be handled. And I played around a little bit with them before Gus explained his idea. But I didn't try to go deep in the real process on what we could do with it programmatically, I mean. So it was a first challenge for me to let's say understand how it's working in the background, and try to, as usual, create a tool which can help anyone during their work. It's I guess it's the goal of our different tools in the XrmToolBox. So
Yeah. Okay.
so
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. I just saw that it actually has more than 4,500 downloads so far, and that's quite powerful, this platform for the tools.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
also, since I tried it today, I have to ask. It does some impersonation as well, I guess. So do
Yes.
you actually have to go through each and every user and do it as those specific users, or how does it work?
Yeah, basically, since each user have, let's say, his own instance of the process. Yeah, let's say, for example, for 50 records, and I have to go through each users for the 50 records to update the different process. So if you want to use the tool on a large data set, it can take a while, but so as you said, using the impersonation, is necessary. Yes.
Okay, so that's why we have the nice GIF there when you're waiting for it.
So you can check it on the wait, grab a snack or whatever.
So Gus, did you realize you had to go through this kind of trouble to actually pretend to be different users to set the stages?
I have no idea. No, I had. It doesn't.
I'm sorry. Are we talking techie now?
No, I mean, I didn't know. I just figured that it was that somebody, this wasn't something impossible, that someone had to figure it out, and I'm glad he was able to find a way to do it. I mean, we ran into a ton of issues just going through the process. I still don't think that it's 100% perfect. We're relying on the 4,500 people who downloaded the tool to report bugs to us, obviously, and to let us know what to improve. Or I'll let Clement know what to improve, because I wouldn't know what to improve. But again, we try to test every single scenario, and he was trying to account for every single combination, and this is where we landed. And I'm glad to hear that thousands of people are out there taking advantage of it.
I have a question around the name there, because it's quite a generic name, BPF Manager. It sort of implies there's more features coming around BPFs here, or do you have any planned, or is it just to keep all doors open?
I'm pretty sure Gus has ideas for the next 5 years. So
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, not only that, but it also when we were thinking about the name of it, I mean, we're thinking about the fact that now we're able to manage records in bulk, and that's where the word manager came from. I wasn't really sure what other name would be fitting for it, and we ended up with BPF manager mainly instead of spelling the whole name, business process flow manager, because I figure that whoever is using this tool needs to know what a BPF is just by reading BPF. So we didn't want to make it, super simple. We want people to know what they're doing to be able to use it.
Clement, you said it took you 2 weeks. How many hours over that 2 weeks did you spend? This is your fourth plugin, right?
Fifth one, but let me. Yeah. Fourth one. Fifth one is.
You got so many you can't count them. Okay.
No. How many hours? That's a good question. Let's say, I don't know, 20?
20 hours. Okay. So
maybe a bit more. I don't know.
About 20 hours to go through and create a tool and someone that knows what they're doing. I also noticed, I think you've created the biggest button on any toolbox plugin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you trying to compensate for something, or what's with the big button?
It was to fill the blank space. I didn't know what to put, so too many gifts is too much. So
well, that's where Gus could help out. You think, Gus, I need to fill some blank space, and he would give you a gift to put in there.
We wanted to make sure that even if you were drunk, you can use the tool. Yeah. There's no limitations.
I would think it's a way it resonates with Gus's whole aura and personality. Give me a big button there.
I just want to pick the records, pick the BPF and the stage, and then hit the button. Big button. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, and then the interesting part about it is that this tool sort of started our relationship, this working relationship we have together, because then later on I posted another complaint on Twitter this time around, and Clement responded by updating one of his tools to solve exactly the problem I was asking about, which was one about personal views. I don't know if you guys caught that on Twitter. Andrew also jumped on it. He wanted to create a tool, but I think Clement had already a tool built in that this was kind of an enhancement to it. I don't know if Clement, if you want to talk about that as well.
Well, yeah, basically I had the idea to implement that, so it was a good timing. Let's say it. The tool was made in the first place to reassign the different views from people who were leaving companies and were leaving their views shared with thousands of people, and those thousand people didn't care about these views. So the idea was to clean the data after someone left the company. But so I did it with the views in the first place. But yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense to update it. Sorry, based on your idea for the charts and the dashboards, of course. And I have some other ideas for this tool as well. So just need to find some time to implement that.
Exactly. I do have a question for the hosts of the podcast. This is a little takeover here. So, since we're talking about the XrmToolCast, how many of the XrmToolBox tools work with managed solutions?
I would say all of them.
Really?
Yeah, usually they don't work with solutions. There are a few solution-centric tools, but generally it's more of the customizations and data you're working on. So, where are you getting at?
Hey, Daryl, does your attribute manager work with attributes on a managed solution?
Extremely painfully, but you can't actually edit managed. Can't actually edit the managed fields and stuff. So in that case, they have to be unmanaged in order to do that in your dev environments. But you could theoretically propagate the things up with the managed solutions, but it's a very painful process.
And then if it works after that whole painful process, you're most likely locking that managed solution for life, I assume.
No, you're in the same state you would have been otherwise, just with a different entity in it.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just curious too. I'm still trying to find an advantage of using managed solutions. So hopefully on the XrmToolBox,
the quest goes on.
Exactly. Continue to search. So yeah, that's the question. So another question I have is for those listening to this is based on number of downloads. What's the most popular tool of the XRM Toolbox?
Notice had a really good post of the top 10.
Yeah,
this
that was
one
based,
here.
right.
that was based on ratings. Based on downloads, it's actually the
Ah.
plugin trace viewer. But I
What?
guess that got a lot since I had quite a few updates, and the total download is aggregating all versions downloads.
Here's where you got to be careful with how
Yeah.
we define that, because
Yeah.
Jonas makes a lot of mistakes, and so he has to push lots of
I
different
know.
versions out, and each
I-
version,
So people have
if
to
people
download
download, it boosts his numbers. So
Yeah, I actually
That's a
complained
key
about
success.
that way of counting because I felt
Oh
I
my God.
didn't really belong on the top there. But, well, currently it's me in the top two places, then comes Daryl, and then Tengi.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
it's a bit misread there. Actually, if you look at the average download by tool, it's the daytime behavior utility, which has been released in one version, and was a beta version, really not a good one. And the reason I think it's been out there in one version for so many years that everyone you reinstall XrmToolBox and just say, give me all the tools, you get that one as well. So it has an average download of 156,000 downloads.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so
Who created that?
it might
Guess
have been
who?
me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
with a
easy when
colleague.
you have the source code for the XRM Toolbox. You can make your tools downloaded, during the install.
Yeah,
Then,
absolutely.
That's how you skew the numbers.
Of course.
Yeah, the top 9 tools by average only have one version out there.
Yeah.
And so you have to get down to the 10th one that actually looks like it had 2 versions there, maybe, and that's the solution history tool and the assembly recovery tool. Those all look like they have 2. Then I think the view designer probably is the next one that actually looks like it has more than 2 versions out there that actually has. Looks like it has 4 versions out there. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say what's the most popular because you have to kind of figure out, well, how do we handle the ones that come out of the box? How do we handle the ones that have lots of different solutions being made? And so that's why I think Jonas is using the average rating and the ratings, if you look at that.
Yeah. Then there's also actually on the XrmToolBox website, Tengi has added a Power BI report of how many tools that are downloaded, I think, and started. So how many starts of each. Then I guess you could wish for more ways to look at that data, but you
Right.
can have a look. Just go into the report section on the XrmToolBox website, so you can have fun there.
Interesting.
So numbers
Cool.
are
And
amazing.
is there any like a CRM ideas equivalent portal for XRM Toolbox where people could, they don't have to wait to become MVPs and go to the summit and complain to a French guy at the table
I think
so
that
they can get their
site.
ideas through?
I think that site is called Twitter.
Yep. Go to
We use
Twitter,
Twitter for that. Good
chat
luck.
to the XrmToolBox plugin, XrmToolBox handler, and say, hey, anyone know a plugin
PayPal.
that does this? Would anybody willing to make one for me? And yeah, pretty much, I think every plugin developer, XrmToolBox plugin developer, at least listens to that or is following the XrmToolBox as well on Twitter. So that's probably the best way to do that without doing that. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish we could encourage the people that have created plugins for XM Toolbox that are using them privately to see if they can release it. If we did some kind of a plugin palooza kind of thing, where people can release them, because like I know that you guys interviewed Andy Popkin, and we talked about that. Andy and I worked together at a company, and he created the bulk workflow execution tool because I almost broke the cloud, and he talks about that on his episode. It's no secret. But he also has some other tools that he created because I broke something that fixes a bunch of good stuff. Like he has a bulk deletion tool, and I would love to see them released publicly. And I assume Andy's just one of, who knows, dozens or hundreds of people that have created tools, but they haven't released them because they're selfish. So is there anything we can do to encourage that?
Encourage, I don't know, but you can, if you're interested, you can have a look at this Power BI report I mentioned, because there you see all plugin starts, and it doesn't matter if it's just an internal tool or if it's something that's been published. So there are a few that you don't really recognize the name of here. Someone created a fork of the bulk data updater, which is called bulk data updater PK. I just see. I don't know who PK is, if you know that.
Primary key is my guess.
And a few different tools there that you don't recognize from the plugin store.
Yep.
Interesting.
But then I guess my guess is that most of these that are not published are probably not polished enough. They wouldn't be approved because it's just some quick dirty fix, and you use the XrmToolBox framework to get the easy connectivity features and so on. And or perhaps you use it internally in your processes. We had a few of those at a previous employer.
I would say, yeah, it's either it's not very polished, A, or B, it's specific to something that they're dealing with in their own custom relationships or custom data.
Yeah.
I created one once that was used to just help people find records by find the GUIDs of records, because they were all end users that didn't know how to go and get the GUID button. And I think this was before we had the fun level up plugin for Chrome to go and get that GUID really quickly. So I went through and did all that kind of stuff for them, and that was one that was internal that really wouldn't be helpful to anybody outside of that, since it was joining in all these custom entities and stuff in order to go look that up. So yeah, those are the two reasons that most of those aren't there, because the barrier entry to actually adding your plugin to the toolbox is extremely low. The biggest bottleneck in it is Tanguy having time to go through and review your plugin. That's it. So he goes on vacation. The jerk can't believe it. I'm sorry, he goes on holiday. Look at it right. He goes on holiday. The jerk can't believe it. Yes.
Yeah. So now that we have Clement on the show, you mentioned you have 4 or 5, or what is it? So I'm guessing there's something in the pipe coming from you. Do you have anything to reveal there, what you're working on?
Well, I have one which is still in beta mode. I wanted to create a plugin which could convert some queries, let's say, for example, from fetch XML to web API or to query expressions from one way to the others, just to, let's say, make the life of developers easier when they need to convert it.
Oh, I'm sorry to say that feature already exists, or those features.
Yeah, but I know. But normally I have more conversions than you.
Yeah.
But I need to finish it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And I have some other ideas to improve the existing ones.
Yeah, that's great. So do you get a lot of feedback on GitHub? I assume your projects are on GitHub?
Yeah, sure. Yes, they're public, of course. I'm starting to have some issues on the ideas. So I assume that it means that the tools are used and the people are liking it. So that's great stuff. And I guess I have less issues than yours, but it's starting to come up.
It just means it works better for you.
No, by issues I meant improvement suggestions or stuff like that. Not issues, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, I have an idea. Have you guys thought about, I guess, coming up with a system like the learn.microsoft.com for XrmToolBox, where we have a way to go through training without? Because I would love to kind of send new admins to that training and say, okay, now that you know how to administer Dynamics, let me take you to the next level. Go to learn.xrmtoolbox.com and watch some videos, how to install it, how to run some plugins, most popular ones, whatever.
Well, I started, and it's been a while since my last episode now, but I think I have at least 7 out there, the XrmToolBox School on YouTube. So they're like 5-10 minutes videos where I go through some basic stuff. So, and of course, hoping to find time to produce more of those. Mainly
your plugins, I assume.
No, it's more mine as well, but it's also from the XrmToolBox, like the toolbox itself, and how to install it, how to use connections, and how to make it not break for you, and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would be good to have it even hosted at the website, XrmToolBox.com, some kind of media section or whatever, because it would be great to be able to send people to go get training.
Absolutely.
You can send them to the 365 Saturday. They are always either Tanguy or Jonas to explain how the...
Yeah, if we had this website, I would have nothing to do presentation-wise whenever I go speak. So
All right, so how about I throw out a complaint and we'll see if somebody listens to this wants to take me up on it, because I already complained to Jonas and he said he was going to do it, and then when I asked him for a follow-up like a month later, he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he completely forgot about it, which
Who are
is
you
horrific. Yeah, exactly. So my idea for a plugin, and we talked about this on one of the episodes of the podcast about beautifying dynamics. And one of the things that I disagree with out of the box in dynamics is the relationship behavior between accounts and contacts and opportunities and stuff. That whole cascade, all parental relationship is just horrible, right? So I would love to have a tool that just modifies all the relationships out of the box in Dynamics 365 to just be something else and make it configurable. Like I want to make it restrict, delete, go, and just modify everything. So kind of like a relationship master or cascading relationship master. I would love to have a tool like that I can set relationship behavior in bulk to all of the entities or whatever entities I select in Dynamics. That would be awesome.
During the summit, you gave another name for that idea. It was Beautify CRM.
Yeah, but the beautification of CRM goes beyond that. So if you notice, for example, on that episode, the Beautifying Dynamics episode, I talk about, for example, how all of the views should have the same columns and the same width, and they should all look standard. So it would be cool if a tool just went and you pick like, well, we have the view replicator, which kind of does that. But what I would love to have is just one tool that you just hit beautify and it just goes and applies all this stuff in Dynamics, right? But that's even too far. Like even if I just had one tool that did the relationship stuff, like that would be massive help.
A plugin with a big button just to
yes,
fix according to Gus's best practice.
Yeah, that's the admin like Gus, and you need an admin like Gus wizard. Where it goes in and it says, it walks you through. So it's kind of similar to my Visual Studio Solution Accelerator, where it asks you, hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want any of this? So maybe there's a few features. At the end of it, you click a big button that says go, and it goes through and makes everything exactly how Gus would do it, basically. That's what it needs.
Yeah, I see 10 buttons. 10 buttons. Top 10 buttons.
Top 10 buttons.
Yep.
No, but like joking aside, like if you had the option to pick it, like you don't have to do it like me. Maybe you completely disagree with my best practice and you think that, doing it in a different way makes more sense. Cool, but at least have the freedom to say, this is the way I think it is, whether I agree with Gus or not, whatever, but go and do it and set up the whole of Dynamics for it, because out of the box, I just think that relationship behavior is just wrong. It shouldn't work the way it does.
Yeah, that's a great tool. A great tool idea. It's just finding the person that has the two things that are required to make it a reality: the time and the ability.
This time you won't have a screenshot in 2 days.
I think you need to go find some more French people.
All right,
and have some
but
breakfast with them, Gus.
Dynamics 365 Saturday in Austin is coming up on July 13th. If you want to get after it, that's about a month and a half to make it happen. Not saying, but yeah, I mean that's another idea, and like that, I mean, I just like, and I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there with ideas like that. Just like, if we only had a tool that did this, and in some cases you might think they're impossible. Like I always, there are some ideas that I have that I'm like, yeah, there's no way that's possible, but I still bring it up because what's the worst that can happen? Somebody tells me like, yeah, we can't do that. And that's it, rather than just withhold that information and continue to do everything the hard way. Because if you're committed to beautifying Dynamics the way we talked about on that episode with me and Ulrich, then you do it in every implementation. And if you implement this thing for a living, I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot of hours every month that you spend doing something that a tool should be able to do. So
yeah, and I guess that you sum it up pretty well. The things you always do, you do on every implementation, and it takes a lot of hours. That's when we create the tools. So yeah, maybe a CRM beautifier is coming up.
Nice.
Well, Gus and Clement, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any other questions?
I was told Tanguy was going to be here. That's why I'm here. So I guess he's not coming on then, huh?
He'll come in the fullness of time.
No, the last thing I wanted to mention is, again, thank you to Clement for taking me up on the idea of creating the BPF manager. I'm excited to hear that thousands of people have downloaded, or at least a few people have downloaded thousands of times. And I'm excited to hear that. I get a lot of comments about how much it's helped them in projects they're doing or implementations they're doing, and I also get questions sometimes about situations they're trying to resolve and they're not able to get it, and I pass those to Clement. He's been super responsive in terms of we've even logged into environments where we try to reproduce the problems and he switches something on the back end and all right, try it again, and now it works. So it's been a great relationship, and he's done amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you to him, and thank you guys for bringing us on the show and create some awareness for the work he has done and the work you guys have done creating tools. I'm just the one who benefits from it, and I continue to encourage you to create them, but you guys deserve all the credit.
Just want to say thank you to both of you. At least, yeah. In the end, when you think about it, the step between the personal tool you can use on your own laptop and the same thing in the XrmToolBox is not far, so it's not big. So to people who have some tools on their laptop, don't hesitate to convert it to XrmToolBox plugin. And yeah, I said Gus, it's really nice to see that people enjoy our work and that we can save some time to them for their daily tasks. So yeah, that's a really good feeling. Let's say it this way. And yeah, so to sum up, thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Gus, what's your Twitter handle, or do you use LinkedIn, or both? How people reach out to you?
I use them both, but Gus Gonzalez 2 is my Twitter handle, or just go to XrmMVPpodcast.com, and that's all the information is there as well if you want to get in touch with me. And yeah, I get people reaching out to me on LinkedIn a lot about this toolbox tool, so feel free to do that as well.
Right. Clement?
My Twitter is Clement Olivier with a 0 instead of the O, and yeah, and my website is stuffandtacos.otherwebsites.com.
What's the name of the website again?
Stuffandtacos. I created it with a friend, and yeah, we didn't know how to call it, and yeah, it sounds funny, so we used it, and since then we kept it.
Awesome. Well, if any of our listeners have any tool ideas or any other ideas for future podcasts, please send us those suggestions our way. Jonas, where can they send them?
Well, it's for email cast@XrmToolBox.com or the Twitter handle XrmToolCast. And follow the Twitter handle as well, because we'll post news about new shows and everything there.
Yep. All right. Thanks a lot for joining us. See ya.
Thanks.